All right, a very good morning wherever you are watching us from your right on time. This is Kirk in the morning every Friday, as we always do. Take a look at the state of the nation. What is the state of the country in matters to do with politics and governance, as well as the situation in the country. Much and more we're going to talk about in our conversation this morning. There is a lot of politics that has played out in the course of the week. Of course, matters to do with the ultimatum of the Azimio Moja coalition to the government coming to an end. That means that on Monday next week there will be the stage protest that will be led by Right Honorable Raila Odinga in the capital city, and much more to do with the United Democratic Alliance Party, merging and folding parties together to form one big party. What does that mean for the country's democracy? Is that the right way, or is the ruling government trying to oppress the opposition? That and much more we'll be talking in our conversation this morning with my guest. As well, we'll also be taking a look at the 50 appointed Chief Administrative Secretary by President William Ruto, from 23 in the regime of President Uhuru Kenyatta to 50 in the regime of President William Ruto. Is that a burden to the taxpayers? Is that a betrayal of the Kenyan people? That is the conversation that we are having this morning on the state of the nation, and also taking a look at what has transpired all through the week up until Friday. My guests already in our premises. They will be joining me shortly. But as we always do, welcome aboard. Remember, we are broadcasting live on Facebook at Kirk TV Kenya and YouTube at Kirk TV Kenya as well. You can be part of this broadcast and make your contribution count as you contribute in our conversation this morning. Our SMS line will be open as well. Our social media handles are open for you to drop your comment and contribution. My name is Chris Sambo, and as we always do, first things first, let's take a look at what is on the roads at this particular hour as we even get started in this particular broadcast. All right, and just so quickly, I will be taking a look at what the major roads look like. Just 12 minutes past 8 a.m. in the morning, just looking at what major roads look like. I begin with Mombasa Road, which doesn't look so much bad this morning. I can see from my map, Mombasa Road looking so much good the way up until you get around Nyayo Stadium. That is where you get a little bit of a traffic snarl up at the junction connecting Mombasa Road and Lusaka Road, as well as you proceed all the way to the junction also connecting Bunyala Road to Mombasa Road. Doesn't look so much good all the way up until you also get to that Haile Selassie Avenue when you're entering the Central Business District. That is Mombasa Road. But the expressway, the Nairobi Expressway, looking so much good this morning. Langata Road doesn't look so much bad, but a little bit of heavy traffic as you descend down Nyayo Stadium to the junction linking to Mombasa Road, and Lusaka Road doesn't look so much good, as well as that drive-through all the way leading to the exit at Mombasa Road through Bunyala Road doesn't look so much good this morning. So Mombasa Road looking so much fine up until you get a few meters, or rather a few kilometers to Nyayo National Stadium. And looking at yet another major road, that is the Thika Superhighway, as usual, doesn't look so much good. Right after survey at this particular hour, 14 minutes past 8 a.m. in the morning, Thika Road doesn't look so much good all the way through Kenya Utalii College, Muthaiga, Pangani, and through Tungara. Doesn't look so much good this morning. And looking at Parklands Road, looks so much good despite some little bit of traffic snarl up descending into the Central Business District. And of course, Ngong Road looking so much good this morning, but a little bit of snarl up at different traffic control points. That is what the Ngong Road looks like. And just the Central Business District, of course, being on a Friday, there is a little bit, there is much movement at the Central Business District, as I can see from my map. Different avenues and different junctions having heavy traffic. Of course, those are some of the major roads linking into the Central Business District. Jogo Road looking so much good, but not that good, especially past when you pass Makadara. There is a little bit of a traffic there, and as you go upwards up until Gikomba, as you rise from Nairobi City Stadium, doesn't look so much good. Heavy traffic evident at Jogoo Road, right past Nairobi City Stadium. And that is what the major roads look like this morning. As we take a begin of this particular broadcast, we'll be coming later on maybe to look at what the roads will be looking like. But just in brief, the roads look well this morning despite the chilly and cold morning in the capital city. Up next, we take a look at what the newspapers have written this morning. All right, and now we take a look at what the newspapers have written this morning. Let's begin with the Daily Nation, which talks about on the top page, cabinet secretaries, chief administrative secretaries, and principal secretaries to earn 13 billion shillings in 5 years. That is the top story by the Daily Nation. They are talking about loyalist top Ruto's bloated CAS lineup, and in reference to a Gazette notice issued on 16th of March 2023, with President Ruto appointing 50 chief administrative secretaries in respective ministries. Highlight of that being political losers, highlighting a list that has been now the talk of the country. Dennis Itumbi is now was being a digital control of the former deputy president, and as well President William Ruto now appointed as the chief administrative secretary in the Ministry of Information, Communication and Digital Economy, as well as Margaret Wanjiru was intending to vie for the Nairobi gubernatorial seat under the UDA party, is now the Cooperative and MSME Development Chief Administrative Secretary. Former Starehe Member of Parliament Charles Njagwa is now appointed as the CAS for Youth Affairs, the Arts and Sports. Catherine Waruguru, Chris Wamalwa, Katibu Mwashetani, Wesley Korir, Evans Kidero, Samuel Tunai, Nicholas Gumbo, Wilson Sosion, Millicent Omanga, and Benjamin Washiali are part of the prominent figures in that particular list of President William Ruto's appointment of the Chief Administrative Secretary. And the bottom of the Daily Nation talks about Raila now says, I won't be intimidated to call off protest. He says that he is ready to pay for the ultimate price. That story is on page 8 of the Daily Nation. Page 4 and 5 talks an in-depth of what has been written by the Daily Nation on matters to do with the appointment of the CAS. And the page 3 of the Daily Nation talks about TSC, the Teacher Service Commission, in a bind over disciplinary panels. That is a story there where TSC Chairman Jamlek Muturi appeared before the National Assembly Committee on Education at Parliament. Now is expected to appear before the same committee to address issues to do with the conduct of teachers and dismissal of some of the teachers. That is the Daily Nation talking about that particular story. And page 4 talks about members of Parliament, summon former Treasury CS Ukuri Atani, ICT Minister Mosheru, and former Head of Public Service Kinywa over telecom purchases. Joseph Kinywa now at the center of the controversy in the sale of telecom. The Standard newspaper talks about no lean government as 50 to join cabinet. That is a story by the Daily Nation on page 4, written and in depth there. And the third page of the Standard newspaper talks about tractors roll back to life as farmers get down to work. That is in regards to the rains that have been raining, and that is the Standard newspaper talking about this morning. And that is where we end up this particular segment of the newspaper review. Up next is our conversation. My guest already here in studio for us to have a conversation on the state of the nation. So don't go far away. Remember, we are streaming live on Facebook and YouTube at Kirk TV Kenya. You can give us your feedback. We'll be reading as we continue with this broadcast. We take a very short break, but when we come back in a few minutes, we'll be coming back with our conversation on the state of the nation.
On the next episode of The Legends, we will welcome into the program the Reverend Festus Gitonga, a former Secretary General of the Presbyterian Church of East Africa, who himself has intimated to me several times that he has one more year to go. So we want to understand how he is preparing himself for retirement and the experiences when he was a Secretary General and the advice that he can give to many of us. So we welcome you to our next program of The Legends.
Uwe rafiki wa karibu na uwe partner. Ukisema ya kwamba utakuwa ukiwapatia 100 shillings, hata hiyo ni kubwa sana kwao. Ukisema ni 200, ukisema ni 1000, ukisema utaweza 5000, ni wewe tu utaamua. Lakini ikiwa consistent, tuseme ya kwamba ni mwezi, nikisema ya kwamba nitakuwa nikiwapatia mwezi kiasi hiki, ni kuendelea tu na kuwapatia na kuwashikilia. Kushikilia hiyo ni kama tunaenda mission. Sisi tunaenda mission.
To partner with us, send your financial support to pay bill number 4019613, account partner. Pay bill number 4019613, account partner.
Be a partner with us, willingly, motivated by God, and give generously. Give generously. And this will be a partner. And please, again, I plead with you, support Kirk TV. One, by appreciating it, turn on to it so that you watch what is going on. And do give us some comment, whether you write or you SMS or whatever, do make some comment. So that whatever we do, we need to be encouraged. We want to hear from you. Talk to us. And there are ways of doing so. The reason why I'm saying this, it is emphasis, even by your financial support. Every contribution you give will keep us tuned on, and be in the air, so that anytime you turn on, we are there. We will be getting help from you, and the good Lord will be speaking to us, and we shall be in the air.
To partner with us, send your financial support to pay bill number 4019613, account partner. Pay bill number 4019613, account partner.
We turn to God and thank God for helping us to make a beginning, even to appear and to be in the air, because God has been near to us and has been talking to us, telling us what to say to the people using the technology there is today, which Paul did not have, Jesus did not have this. Now that we do, then we are going to use it.
To partner with us, send your financial support to pay bill number 4019613, account partner. Pay bill number 4019613, account partner.
Greetings to all of you who watch Kirk TV programs. I said you Christian love and peace from all the Kirk family and the entire ministry. Since God gave us this Kirk TV, which is a very competent means of reaching people in and outside Kenya, Kirk TV is undoubtedly giving good and effective services to many people wherever our signal reaches. It is evident that God is at work through Kirk TV. We therefore need your loving support through your continuous prayers. We also appeal passionately for your generous financial support to help us be on air as the Lord will require us to do and to be. please plan to give regularly. Please give occasionally, or you can begin to give a one-time gift. The scripture is right that you will be made rich in every way so that you can be generous on every occasion, and your generosity will result in thanksgiving to God. Please respond to this genuine, urgent appeal. Kindly be a Kirk TV partner. May God bless you abundantly as we join hands to do this good work.
To partner with us, send your financial support to pay bill number 4019613, account partner. Pay bill number 4019613, account partner.
Kirk TV is very promising, and judging from what is happening with other media houses, I would just say that our hope is that Kirk TV will continue to thrive, and even to outdo many other stations. It will continue to mission, and we also look at a point where Kirk TV will be the station of choice, not just for Presbyterians, as we say, but for all Christians across the board. We are looking at a situation where Kirk TV, again, as we are doing right now, will be the station where, because we have so many other stations, Christian stations, but you want to be seen as that one station which gives the right doctrine, you know, the right doctrine, and also a station whereby it will be able to bring together all the churches, all Christians together, as opposed to segmentizing, Christians. Yeah. So we look at that point where everything Christian will be
under one roof.
Under one roof, and that is Kirk TV.
To partner with us, send your financial support to pay bill number 4019613, account partner. Pay bill number 4019613, account partner.
Kirk TV is a place to be. Let us build our own brand. Let us labor for this, because this is where the true mission is, and therefore partner with us. Keep it at Kirk, and we'll go far together.
To partner with us, send your financial support to pay bill number 4019613, account partner. Pay bill number 4019613, account partner.
Four points as to why we need partners. Number one, it is because partnership and partnering is biblical. That is the model of mission which is demonstrated in the Bible. That even Jesus Christ had to partner with the 12, and then he commissioned them so that they may partner with the rest of the world. That is point number one. Point number two is so that you become part of this great mission. So we partner so that we become part of the mission. Without partnering, you cannot be part of the mission. One of the values in the Presbyterian Church of East Africa is that nobody in the mission should be a spectator. Come so that you become part of us, we do mission together. How do you do it? Become a partner of Kirk TV. Number three, we partner so that you may tap the blessings of the mission. So once you partner, as we continue to evangelize, we reach those people who are unreached, you become, or you tap part of the blessings you get through partnership. And that is very important for everybody to come so that we can join together as we tap the blessings of doing mission together. Finally, It is because we need to expand together. Kirk TV is expanding. Kirk TV is growing, and that is why we see the viewership growing every day. So partner with us so that we can expand together.
To partner with us, send your financial support to pay bill number 401-9613, account partner. Pay bill number 401-9613, account partner.
You feel abandoned, rejected and lonely, and like no one cares, Jesus cares. He is our shepherd. The Bible says in the book of 1 Peter chapter 5 that Jesus is our shepherd and he cares for the flock. And so it is our duty to humble ourselves.
Watu wameharibiwa mali. Kumetokea fujo katika taifa letu kwa mambo yako ya maandamano. Leo unatuambia ati utapanga maandamano ya amani. Tunangojea hii maandamano ya amani tuone kutoka kwa huyu jamaa ambaye hajawahi kupanga hata siku moja maandamano ya amani. Maandamano yote amepanga kwa miaka 40 ni ya fujo. Watu wanaharibiwa mali yao. Watu wanapoteza biashara zao. Damu inamwagika. Anatuambia ati amebadilika leo, ati atapanga mambo ati maandamano ya amani. Mimi sina shida kama rais apange mambo ya maandamano ya amani, lakini mimi nataka nimpatie ushauri. Aketi chini na polisi wakubaliane hiyo maandamano itakuwa ya amani kwa njia gani. Asije akaharibu mali ya watu, asije akaharibu amani Kenya, asije akamwaga damu tena vile amezoea, kwa sababu we are shortly going to tell him enough is enough.
Right, in case you're joining us, remember we are streaming live on Facebook at Kirk TV Kenya and also on YouTube at Kirk TV Kenya. Welcome back again to Kirk in the Morning. Now we get into our conversation this morning on the state of the nation. That particular clip they're playing is a statement by President William Ruto in regards to the anticipation of the Monday protest expected to happen in the capital city by the opposition. My guest already here in studio, and I will be introducing them right now. And on my near right is nominated Senator Tabitha Mutinda. Karibu sana kwenye studio.
Asante.
Good to see you this morning.
Pleasure.
And on the far right is Wagaki Washuri, is also a politician and also a political analyst. Karibu sana this morning.
Thank you so much.
And of course, it's been a week filled with political temperatures. You know, there's that anticipation, the tension now coming in, and headlines in regards to, you know, what we expect on Monday. The president has come out clearly to give strong statements as well as the Azimio la Umoja leader. But before I get to your views, let's listen in to what the president also had to weigh in regards to the Monday protests as well as Raila Odinga.
Is on. In 4 days' time, we have a march on Nairobi that kicks off an unprecedented campaign of defense of Mr. William Ruto and his illegitimate regime.
Bei ya kila kitu inazidi kwenda mbele, na ndio Wakenya kasema lazima sisi tuwe mstari wa mbele kupigania haki ya wananchi wa Kenya.
Hello? You can assassinate Raila Odinga physically, but you can never assassinate his ideas and the cause for which he stands. And I've said that I am prepared to pay the ultimate price if that will mean liberating the people of Kenya. Kwa hivyo hatuwezi kutishwa,
Tutaenda kwa sababu huyu bwana Ruto anasema ati maandamano hayatakuwa ya amani. Nataka hapa tuchukue kiapo kwamba sisi wa Kenya tutaandamana kwa maandamano ya amani tupu. Wangapi wanasema hivyo?
Right, and those are the statements by the Azimio la Umoja coalition. I just want to begin with you, Senator. You hear what the Azimio la Umoja is talking about. It's only now 2 days to go for the Monday protest headlines, and you know, is the plan by the Azimio legitimate in regards to what concerns they are raising?
Let me start by saying that one, constitutionally, yes, it is allowed for any Kenyan to do demonstrations as long as it's peaceful and not destroying any Kenyan's property. It should be peaceful and constitutional, it is allowed. But the question is, okay, is maandamano going to give a solution to the cost of living? Because Honorable Raila says that on Monday people should not go to work. How are we going to ensure that we are going to have food on table if people are told not to go to work? To just lazy around or just go maandamano, and then where is the solution? Does it mean that because maandamano will be there, that the cost of unga will now come from where we've tried to reduce it to 170 as Kenya Kwanza to 100 shillings or even to 50 shillings? Is that the solution? Is the cost of electricity going to go down? And all the other kind of costs that we are having, yes, we acknowledge the cost of living is still high. And that is why the president has put strategies to be able to give long-term solutions to the issues that we are having at the moment. So, one, I ask, is that the only formula that Raila has? Because that is a repeated strategy that over time he has used. Two, he has stated categorically that this government is not legit. So, are you asking a government to be accountable if it is not legit? So we do not need double standards. Three, there are better ways of putting matters on table. If you have ideologies, bring on table. The President William Samoei Ruto is a man whose leadership is on dialogue, is on listening to ideologies, to concepts, to strategies that can take this country to the next level. It's solutions that are long-term. We have a manifesto as Kenya Kwanza, and as we came in, and even before we go to that manifesto, I've always stated it is not a manifesto that the president and the deputy woke up and decided that this is just how we're going to do things. No, we spoke to the people, we went to the ground, we asked the people, what is the problem, what is the challenge? And if you remember very clearly, because we moved to all counties, the president took the mic himself and dialogued with the Mwananchi and asked him what is the issues. And one of the key issues that came, that was broad, was the issues of our capital, SMEs, Mama Mboga, in terms of capital. They talked about the Fuliza issues, the Shylock issues. The Shylock interest would go as high as even 200%. And if they don't pay all their collaterals and all that, they're just taken away, whereby someone needs to start back. And that is how Hustler Fund was born. A solution to be able to try and uplift the people such that they are able to at least have somewhere they can be borrowing with, you know, a one-digit interest, and also a platform to be able to at least save something. I've had the questions of like, oh, you know, it is 500, what is 500 going to do, what is 1,000 going to do? But you see, when you want to help somebody, Chris, you cannot keep on giving him a shilling, a 10 shillings tomorrow. You need to show him how to go and do the work so that they can be able to grow. So by the start of that particular 500 amount, 1,000, it is a way of guiding them on how do you start. Start with 500. Tomorrow it will be 800. The other day it will be 1,200. Continue improving. Continue, you know, going to the next bit by bit, not just a platform that just gives you just this big amount and you're starting. Number two, is going to increase your credibility. It has also sorted the issues of the people who have been listed in CRB, such that they are able at least now to try and be able to get capital here. And at the same time, it is also in stages, depending on your level of business, depending on what investment that you have. So different amounts, different levels of things. So those are the solutions. We've seen that the cost of unga, when we came in, it was retailing at 230. The previous regime, the handshake regime, where Baba has been part of it, he never raised these issues. What they decided is that a subsidy that we've stated right now, money went into people's pocket. Unga that was told to retail at 100, when even myself, I went to the supermarket and I was surprised that I can miss, the basic like unga ya ugali. It was not even in these shelves at all. And until that 100 was not even available, the normal price was back, and then we saw the product was back into the market. He did not raise those concerns then. They took money, and today we have issues that money has gone into people's pocket. So this strategy of Baba is no longer working. And I have stated, surely, if the President, William Ruto, was able to stop reggae, what is maandamano? There's nothing. People need to work. People need to continue with their lives. We cannot always try strategies of threatening people and telling them, oh, don't do this. The other day he started saying, I will mention the products that Kenyans are going to boycott. That happened last time. Then what was the result? We still continue. Is that the solution? That is not the solution. The solution cannot always be shouting, going to the streets, taking Kenyans. Yet your children are well settled. They are not in that front. They are okay. It's other people's children. It is wrong. He needs to change his strategy. And my advice is, come on board.
Okay.
Bring what you feel is the way to go, is the solution. Say, I actually brought it during the handshake time, maybe it was not put in place, and right now I feel we can be able to discuss and put this thing in place. Be solutionable. Does it mean that on maandamano everybody is going to get a packet of unga, a packet of sugar? School fees is going to be paid because people will go for mass action? My question is simple. That is not the way to go. Yes.
And talking about not the way to go, just bringing you in, you hear what she's talking about, we need to come in the table and discuss. But the Azimio coalition are saying and indicated that the government has distanced itself from, liaising and talking to them. Are those legitimate grounds for the Azimio la Umoja to proceed with their Monday protest? And if they proceed with the Monday protest, what is the benefit of the protest?
Thank you. Now, we are bringing ourselves on the table because the president himself is not preparing the table for us, like as the Azimios. Because now, I think it was a political conmanship altogether. We are talking about basic commodities here. That the president himself, he lied to Kenyans. The Kenya Kwanza government lied to Kenyans that they are hustlers. And the mamambogas and the bodabodas will be in the government. Now, Senator talked about unga. I am so passionate about food. And when you touch food, food is a very essential thing. When William Ruto was going around the whole of this country looking for votes, he told us that, or he told the hustlers, that within his first 100 days, he's going to bring down the cost of unga to 70 shillings. Now, when he took the government, he dropped the cost of unga by I think 30 shillings. Then by yesterday, it came back to where it was. Right now, a packet of unga is going to 224 shillings by yesterday. if you see the cost of living in Kenya, it has gone up. Everything has gone up. And I try to think that the strategy, they talked of bottom up. I think it was about, it was all about bringing everything from down to up. For example, from 1 shillings to 10 shillings. It was a political conmanship. Now, if we talk of maandamano, from my principle, I think this is the only way, and it is constitutional. This is the only way the common mwananchi, all the people, the government can feel that people are suffering. People are really suffering. And when you talk of fuel, the cost of fuel has gone up. When you talk of education, education has gone, everything is up, up, up. And you know, you cannot tell us that Raila has amekuwa kwa maandamano for the longest time. This is his strategy. It is our strategy. The government has its own strategy. And the opposition has its own strategy. And this is a peaceful demonstration. It's a peaceful walk. We want to walk to that state house. We want to be told why were the Kenyans lied to. People are dying of hunger. This morning, I have heard the deputy president talk about the cost of steamer. Steamer has gone up, and he stated that they are not the ones who controls the rains. That was not in their it was in their manifesto that the cost of electricity, the cost of unga will come down. I think it is a strategy for them to try and bring in this food called what is it called? It's
evaporated.
It's evaporated. Yeah, they talked of GMO. It's a strategy to bring in the GMO because we know the government or the president himself, he has cultivated a lot of maize in Congo and he wants to bring in the goods. It is for his own benefits. And we as the opposition, we must fight for the Kenyans, those who are voiceless, those who cannot bring themselves to the table. We must come out, and that is why we must follow our principle. And let me tell you, a hungry man is an angry man, and we cannot be told not to kuandamana, because I would rather we die on our feet than we die on our knees.
And when you talk about, before bringing in Senator, when you talk about maandamano, the president has issued a very stern warning to the Azimio la Umoja leader Raila Odinga and told him that if indeed you're planning this maandamano, then you must make sure these maandamano are peaceful. So, you know, we've seen what has happened before. We've seen the previous maandamanos, and some of them have not been peaceful. And now the Azimio la Umoja coalition is on test again in regards to the Monday protest. What will be the outcome of that protest if at all it doesn't turn out peaceful?
Okay. For our principle, he's talking of a peaceful maandamano. And you know, here we are dealing with Kenyans of all walks of lives. This time, people are thinking that, or the government is thinking that it is just the Luos who will be in the streets. And we have seen in the past that they have been looting the rails and what have you. We have the rules themselves, and we have those rules that are there by assumption. So all of us will be walking, and we have talked to our people. There will be no looting. It will be a peaceful demonstration as stated by the Constitution of Kenya, the Article 37. That it's a peaceful demonstration. We walk, we want our rights, we want the basic commodities brought to somewhere that we can be able to afford, all of us. And you know, we cannot fear. This country was fought for by people. Blood was poured. And we cannot continue in fear and say that tutakaa nyuma kwa sababu watu wengine wanaweza kuja kuua watu or loot goods. No. We have talked to our people and our principal is talking to us. It is a peaceful demonstration. No looting, no killing, no stealing. We just want to have a conversation with the government. Yes.
And just bringing you, Senator, because I know you'll respond to that as well. Also, I want to add one question to you as well. The Azimio Umoja has said that they will proceed with their protests as they had outlined, and the president has come out to, you know, give a very stern warning and also raise a concern about the same. Does that raise the tension when it comes to Monday, or rather, are you comfortable with how the government is handling the situation of the opposition?
One, let me start by saying this, Chris. When my sister Washuri talks about that he knows that the president has a farm in Congo, this is the president of this country, and in such information, this media should ask that he substantiates that. We do not address what you've not received that is substantiated, and it is not allowed. And you know the rules of the law.
Definitely.
Thank you. Yes, yeah. Number two, I can listen to her very keenly. And she's actually mixing up and saying that even if it means to die, people have poured, blood has been poured even before. We are in 2023. We are just not only leaders, we are parents. You know, families are in this country. Kenya is our motherland. It is our nation and our beautiful nation. Where do we go if we're not here? This is our home. And she still repeats and says, what our principal has said, it will be peaceful. But, you know, blood has been poured before. Is that the intention that is intended? Is this a solution that this price will come down for unga? Where I see it, I say and I repeat that dialogue is the best solution on table. Discussions on ideologies. What do we do? She has said that this morning whose unga has gone up. I don't know which unga it is because for me, I'm still purchasing at a fair price, depending on, of course, everybody has a preference. But that aside, what is important is that the leadership, and as we talk to our Kenyans, we need to communicate and not give fear or tension as leaders, because it is not right. She has also talked about the fuel of cost, the fuel cost and all that. Yes, we are not refusing that the cost of living is high. But even the issues of fuel, we need to understand that the war in Ukraine is also affecting, because this is not just it is trickling down not only in Kenya and in all, you know, regions and all that. There is the question that she has mentioned about GMO factor. We've said that we have those solutions that are short term and long term, but the bigger goal is on the long term solution. And at the moment, when we talked about GMO, it is a short term solution, and these are not products that are bad. This is something that just tries to be brought so that it is actually put in a negative way. Kenya Kwanza, the president has a team. It is ready because democratically it is right for maandamano. Anybody is allowed to picket, to demonstrate in the right way without destroying any property. History has stated, Chris, for a long time that this has never been peaceful. And where we are today in 2023, we ask, is this the solution? Is this the best way to be able to do things? I've said, if William Ruto, who was in the previous regime aside, whereby Baba came in, did a handshake, and took a position, Honorable Matiang'i was also in place, and they took charge, and they put Dr. William aside. And at that time, he was able to stop BBI. He was able to stop reggae when he was not even having the seat that he's having today. What is going to make him not to be able to ensure that Kenyans are peaceful? So we are prepared, the government is prepared to ensure that yes, Azimio is allowed to demo, it is their right. But it is not in their right at all to be able to destroy Kenyans' hard work, to be able to destroy what families have worked for, what institutions have built. And let me tell you, saying kuandamana State House, that is what we call anarchy. We know 82, the coup issue. And State House is not a bedroom or a house that you enter and you come out the way you want. The way you want. And if that is a strategy, then the law will take its course very seriously.
And just, Senator, you're talking about, coming to the table and having a dialogue, but you understand from even the government position, the National Assembly Majority Leader, who is a senior, official of the Kenya Kwanza government, has come out and said that we are not going to negotiate with the opposition. We've had statements from the Deputy President as well saying that this mzee wa maandamano wants a sort of a dialogue and, a share of the government. And the Azimio la Umoja leader as well has also said that the government has pushed them away and they are not in any position that they are able to talk with the government, and now they have to seek the power of the people, and that is why they have narrowed down to the coalition. And now seemingly the president is now willing to listen to them. The government has been accused of pushing the coalition away, so how will dialogue happen?
That is not true. That is not true. Because I'll give you a very simple example, even what you've seen. You've seen ODM members of parliament going to State House, being able to discuss, and mostly on development issues. And let me give an example of our Langata MP, that is Honorable Jalango. When he went, what happened? He was being de-whipped from the party. They're forgetting that we have national developments, and more so we have the housing project that is supposed to be happening within his constituency, Langata. What does the president do? He opens for dialogue discussion because people need to be told where they're going to go, what is the priority of the housing, and those are the discussions, because this is the elected leader. This is the leader that was elected to represent that region. So there's room for communication. We saw the other day the MCAs in ODM MCAs in Kisumu, 9 MCAs, they were de-whipped because of a meeting that they had, and it was a meeting on matters development. They start getting de-whipped. What does that tell you? That tells you that there is room for talk. You've seen the Nyanza region. They came on table the other day. They discussed issues. They put their concept and their ideologies, and today we are moving together with them. So there's room to be able to sit. There's room to be able to discuss matters. And Baba has that room to be able to sit. When he came to the previous regime, that is through the handshake, he came, and the deputy president by then, William Ruto, just kept his cool. As much as they came and pushed him away, he kept his cool. He let them operate. He gave them their respect. He's a leader of respect. He's a leader of listening. And today he has his turn. He's the one there. And he has opened the doors to these ODM leaders. They are there. Anybody can be able to reach him. Why? Because even you look at how the distribution of the caste position has been done, it is to all the regions, because he's a president of all Kenyans. He's not only a president of Hustlers and Kenya Kwanza, he's a president of all Kenyans. So the issue of unga today, there's no unga that is written, this unga is amount X for Hustler, and this unga is amount X for the opposition. Such that the opposition will move and say, oh, let us at least also be equalized with the Hustler price and all that. It is not the case. This unga is retailing at this price. Yes, we've tried. We came in and saw that the strategy that they have used for subsidy is a short-term strategy. And it's a very high cost. So what do? One, we lower the cost of fertilizer. We ensure that we have a database for all the farmers. And the government, through the Ministry of Agriculture, has gone to Manisha Shinani, has issued the same, fertilizer. They've also given seedlings, and I'm happy. I'm so happy today that yesterday the rain poured. And that was done so that the farmers can start preparing their farms, using what also the fertilizers, the seeds and all that, so that in a few months now we have food matters being addressed in this country. As much as the Ministry of Agriculture has moved across, also looking for maize, because the local farmers have held the maize. They don't want to release it. They are holding it. Because this unga, the government, instead of, there's no unga. There's no factory for unga. There's no factory for what do you call this other thing, the mafuta. There isn't. It is not there. It is out here on the strategies and the cost that we are trying to reduce, so that even the farmers can be able to produce and put into the market with a favorable price, so that the manufacturers, as they produce, the cost can go down. We are also addressing the cost of electricity, so that the cost of manufacturing can reduce, and then we can have the cost in general going down. So this unga it's not opposition eating ugali peke yake. Even us, we are taking the same. And there needs to be better solutions, Chris. And Kenyans should stop being intimidated. Should stop being instilled fear because of somebody whose children are well sorted. They are fine. And being lied to, like, let us go throw stones. People who can be able to afford lawyers in this country, whichever lawyer they can afford, even not even afford, even free. And you as a Kenyan, you are being told, do this and do this. And I would humbly ask my wonderful sister, great good leader, Washuri, to stop, to desist from blood has been poured before. Nobody would want to take this country to 207.
Maybe she gets a chance to clarify.
She will.
on
Definitely
that
she will.
particular
Definitely
statement.
she will. I'm just encouraging, because nobody would want to see us as a country going to 207 where we were. And I look at her, she's still young. So she has seen this generation, they repeat. We want to have a leadership that the younger generation looks up to and is able to follow. We cannot start telling them, we did this, and so, kwani, it can just happen and all that. What are we telling this generation? Because at some point we try to analyze, because they did not go to vote, a bigger percentage. And in our analysis, in my own view, my opinion, I feel they did not understand who is this, and tomorrow they are not even understanding what is this mandamano, because that kids wants to go, do their hustle, go to college, do their studies, and all that. They just want normal. They are so digital, they just want normal. They just want to proceed. So there are better ways, and I would encourage, yes, let the opposition be able to do their work and get to under light and see this is a problem, but bring problem with solution.
And coming to you, Ashuri, first you'll also have to substantiate, the claims of the DRC Congo chambers, and where you got that information from, if there is any legitimate source. And as well, I saw you shaking your head, in denial of what Senator was raising in regards to the government. I don't know, what is your position?
Before I come to substantiate,
Okay.
I want to talk about the peaceful demonstration. Because she just said, my beautiful sister here, that State House is not somewhere to just walk in. It's not just like a home. It's not a bedroom. It's not a sitting room for any other person. For us, with our principle, we are talking about peaceful demonstrations. We are not fighting. We are not looting. We are walking to State House. And if at all, State House is not a walk in the park. So when I talk about the killings, and they have happened before, there must be something they have planned. They are waiting for us. Because we, personally, our principle and our camp, we are very peaceful. We just want to walk in there. We want to have a dialogue. Remember, the Deputy President, Gachagua, he said there is no maandamano. He said there is no dialogue. They don't want dialogue. They don't, that our principal wants mkate nusu. That is not the case. And if at all he wants the mkate nusu, let them give us the time. Let them give us the space. Let's walk there. Let's have a dialogue there, because they refused the normal one. Himself, the Deputy President, he said there is no dialogue. They cannot give us a dialogue. So we want, for us, we want a peaceful demonstration. We want to walk in the State House, and we believe State House is a home for every Kenyan. Now, when my able senator here tells us that the State House of Kenya is not a bedroom or a house or a home for anyone, then I have questions. What is inside there that we cannot walk? We are also Kenyans. It is constitutional for us to walk inside there, or we want a dialogue with the state.
Mm-hmm. No, let me just try and on this. It's not my strategy of doing it. Mm-hmm. My sister, constitution. There is no constitution that say you can walk to State House the way that word is not in place. Mm-hmm. I like it when she says. I like it so much when she says we be able to dialogue. Now, it is very simple. Today,
how can we dialogue if we don't have the government is not willing to give us a hearing, to give us a table? We cannot bring a table to ourselves.
No, it is very simple. The level of his Honorable Raila from where he is today, it is very simple. When the official letters are just put, I don't even think 24 hours will pass without being given an audience to be able to communicate. His level is a senior level. We really acknowledge that he has over 6 million supporters in this country. It is something to acknowledge. He is a leader. He's a leader. And if he would use that formula today, it is a tick. That would be done very well. But when you say we are going there so that you open the door and then we sit down and talk with you, it doesn't work like that. That is a state. That is, I'm not meaning to say that like this Kenyan is not allowed, this Kenyan is allowed, this Kenyan, no. But there are procedures. That is, they say, even ask Chris that here we are. Mm-hmm. There's a procedure. We had to be communicated. There's a procedure to invite us. You had to prepare this timing. We cannot come at noon and say, now, Chris, we want to have this show. There is a plan. There is a system. Every organization, everybody has a plan on how they work. Even my sister from here, she's going to have a session of the other day. The way she has planned, Washuri, nobody will just come down there and say, I want to see her. She's in that studio. I just want to see her. There is a formula. There is a way things are done. And you are a leader. Being a leader, there is how things follow. So but the best thing that should be encouraged, and we are trying to encourage, let there be a solution in terms of what I would want to hear. I would want to see them moving to the streets saying that this is how we are going to reduce the cost of unga. Can they give us a formula? Can they share now on the mitandao and say this is how the cost of unga can come from 170 to 50 shillings or to 70 shillings? Can that be brought on table? Then we see that they are serious. Can they bring that?
They're talking about subsidy should be brought in back to at least 8 Kenyans in this particular.
Can they put it in writing? Can they say that? Can they put that? What do you have to say that this is the formula to put the cost of unga down? What formula do you have?
Now, Senator, can you tell us
yes.
At that point, even the opposition is under the current government.
Really?
Listen here. When you tell us that we cannot just walk in to the State House, and the president himself can see the heat in the opposition, we want a dialogue, and he's not inviting us. How can we invite ourselves? We need to walk and show him
that is anarchy. That is unconstitutional. That is not legal.
They're saying that they want to audibly now seek dialogue with the president, or rather conversation with the president.
Perfect. Yes. Seek audience with a calculated formula. Bring on table that I've said that this is the cost of mafuta. It is at this point, and this is the way we think it should go down. That is where we are going to say respect and know that they are serious, because we are going to see that they have a solution. I'm asking her, what solution does she have? What formula does she have? I've stated categorically that Kenya Kwanza has put strategies. Apart from the Hustler Fund, we've reduced the cost of the fertilizer today. We've cut that. The Ministry of Agriculture has expanded to try and go and outsource, because I've said farmers, the report with the CS that we've seen is that they have refused to release the maize that is in the whatever galleries. At the same time, Kenya Power, there's a discussion on it to reduce the cost of power, because that cost is increasing the cost of production. There are formulas and to the solutions on how to cut this cost long term. So I'm asking, the opposition is saying that this cost is this. Fine, nobody's disputing. What is the formula?
Let me pay you back. Before you joined the government, or before Kenya Kwanza took over, you had strategies on how to reduce the cost of living in Kenya. And that time, you didn't tell us about you told us about the fertilizers. But before the fertilizers, the president himself had told Kenyans that within the 100 days, he will bring down some cost of unga, some cost of this and that. But that time, hatukuwa tunasikia maneno ya mvua. Okay? It was like, nikiingia, unga itarudi chini. It was supposed to be automatic. It was supposed to be, nikiingia, nikiapa.
Yes.
Unga itashuka iende 70. It was like 1 + 1 is equals to 2. You know, most of the Kenyans understood that. And now you are telling us that he has brought fertilizer, he has given seedlings. It is a new thing after the other. Every day it's a promise after a promise after a promise. When this does not happen, we are told this one will happen. Now, it was categorically pesa mfukoni. It was mama mboga. It was categorically, literally like that. Now, you are telling us that we as the opposition, can we bring the strategy? But yourselves, the current government, it had a strategy on how to bring down the cost of living. Now we want the government, if at all it cannot be able to deliver its manifesto that it gave to Kenyans.
You want them, I want her to finish. You want them to?
We want them to let us sit down
and
we see how we are going to help Kenyans. Because you cannot tell us that it is a promise after promise. Promise after promise. Now, we cannot sit down and wait for the president to give us more promises and for him to give a promise that he's going to give us dialogue. We cannot trust that.
Let me ask you a very simple question. You've said that this government is not legit.
It is not legit.
Ah, perfect.
Yes.
Then let me ask you a simple question. How do you want them to sit to the table with an illegit government? How are you contradicting yourselves? And being on
it was a political conmanship.
Both sides. They know.
Nowadays we cannot hear about Kenya Kwanza. We cannot hear about Mama Mbogas. Everything is quiet.
No, that is not the case. And let us not mislead Kenyans.
No, she's talking about. She's talking about the genesis of the current situation. Where
I want to respond in terms of the 100 days and what we communicated. And
before you go far, tell us about the 100 days and the promise.
I'm not going far.
Kindly.
I'm very much here. And very alive.
You can respond to that first.
I want to respond to that. And I'm very obliged to do so. Because let me tell you, if you're in this country and you love this country, I believe you're following what is happening, the trend in every day. We have come back and said, yes, we are not disputing. We said 100 days we'll be able to do this. We are not disputing. But we have acknowledged that when we came on table, and found that the formula that was being used, which was a subsidy formula, my sister, of giving money so that this price would go down, was not the right formula. Was not the correct formula. As we speak, I've stated that actually part of the money for the subsidy went to people's pockets. Number two, when we looked at that, we said, no, let us have a long-term solution on this matter. What do we do? Let us do farming. Let us increase this production.
But that was not the initial strategy.
Yes, it is not the initial strategy.
It was not the initial strategy for from the president.
It was not. It was not.
Yes.
That is acknowledged. There's no problem with that. And then we say from there we moved to a long-term solution in terms of what we do. And these are the strategies that we are saying we have put in place. Number three, that is where the problem is. They are on two sides. That they are not recognizing this government. That is number one. An issue whereby they went to court, the Supreme Court was able to rule because we follow the law, and we gave them time. Okay, and that process was concluded, and here we are, and the government is stable. But now they are saying this government is not a true government, but they want to go and talk to the same government. Now, why? How do you want to talk to the fake person if he's not in place? Then how do you want to table the same dialogue that she keeps on saying? We want to go on table and dialogue. Why do you want to dialogue with a stranger that you do not recognize? You've stood and said, yes, serikali sisi hatutambui, yes, serikali imetufanyia. Yes, then why are you even calling it serikali? Do you know what the meaning of serikali when you say serikali or government hatutambui? And yet you still want to go on table and government. Let me tell you, my sister, the best solution from where we are, I acknowledge the cost of living is high. I'm not disputing that. I acknowledge it is high. And 6 months is not even enough for any government, because
oh my goodness, how can you talk of 6 months?
Let me explain. Because when we took government, when the president took government, and the normal procedure of the laws, there is handover, there are reports, and within it takes time because of our parliamentary procedures that the CSs have to be vetted. There's a procedure, there's formula, and that takes time. So the CSS settle in. When they settle in, there's a report. This is what the Ministry of Agriculture has. This is the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, blah, 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 everything. In that, there's the next procedure we took for the PSAs and all that. Why am I explaining that? Because our Kenyans need to understand that without this personnel in the office and this other personnel, there are things that cannot be able to move, because the person who's mandated to execute that mandate maybe needs to be in that office, be able to consent, be able to approve, so that project A, project B or C can be able to actually take place and all that. And 6 months is not enough. What is actually needed correctly is 18 months that is needed. At the same time, we found William Ruto took a government that has a very deep hole. The beauty that I respect is that I appreciate that he has told Kenyans the truth, that I've gotten into this office, my expectation was this, because that is how it used to be. But you guys remember, during the handshake, I was put aside, it was evident, but I hanged on for the sake of these Kenyans. I really hanged on. And the truth matter is that when I've come and I've looked at the books, and there we are, things are not so good.
Let me pay you back.
Things are, there was a hole. And that hole, what he's trying to do as a leader, is first trying to fill this particular hole. And that is where we are with things. That is the truth of the matter.
I think, can you hold that? Or I'm told we are due for our first commercial break, and then we come back with you.
I should pay her back before we go for that commercial.
Just 1 minute, then I give you
1 minute.
At least for you to...
Now, William Ruto took over the government that was in a hole, the country that was in a hole. Himself was in the same government, so he knew what was inside there. I tried to think that this man, it is like stealing a vehicle, the president. It's like he's stealing a vehicle and he's not a driver. He's telling us now, I cannot be able to do this. It is 6 months, is a short time. Initially, he told us, or he told the hustlers, that it is within 100 days. And I stated this, Mheshimiwa, that 100 days is like 1 + 1 is equals to 2. Nothing else. You cannot tell Kenyans that now it is not 100 days, it is not 6 months, it is 18 months.
But
what are you telling us?
1 + 1 is also 3.
Hey, what are you telling us? What are you telling that Kenyan who never went to school and he or she just want to see 70 shillings?
Education is free, so Kenyans are going to school.
I think on that note, before you respond, because I know we can go and we're taking a very short commercial break and then we return back. But let's listen in to what the Azimio la Umoja members of parliament as well as the Kenya Kwanza members of parliament had to come out and say yesterday in regards to the planned Monday protest. As we take a short break and then we return back.
Mr. Ruto, that Honorable Odinga agrees with the police how to go about the demonstrations is uncalled for, is unnecessary. The police know their duty, which is to protect lives and property of Kenyans. It is not the work of Raila Odinga or anybody else, Nazimio, to help them do their work. Or Ruto for that matter.
That the planned disruptions planned for Monday are desperate, selfish, evil, treasonable, and unpatriotic actions of a sole loser.
The net beneficiary of all the looting was Raila Odinga, plus his sponsors, who are even sponsoring him up to today. We know the desperation for Mr. Odinga, besides the late realization that he may not have the energy and the stamina to run another election, is the desperation to cover up for the theft and outright looting of our economy under the last regime.
And it's raining all over the country now. So it's the time to plant. It's not the time to uproot. It's the time to plan, not the time to plunge us into chaos. It's the time to build, not to destroy. As I want to request all young people in this country, from wherever they are, mostly from my community and the larger Western Kenya, that you cannot do the same thing for 40 years with the same results and expect to get a different result in the 42nd year.
On the next episode of The Legends, we will welcome into the program the Reverend Festus Gitonga, a former Secretary General of the Presbyterian Church of East Africa, who himself has intimated to me several times that he has one more year to go. So we want to understand how he is preparing himself for retirement and the experiences when he was a Secretary General and the advice that he can give to many of us. So we welcome you to our next program of The Legends.
Greetings to all of you who watch Kirk TV programs. I said you Christian love and peace from all the Kirk family and the entire ministry. Since God gave us this Kirk TV, which is a very competent means of reaching people in and outside Kenya, Kirk TV is undoubtedly giving good and effective services to many people wherever our signal reaches. It is evident that God is at work through Kirk TV. We therefore need your loving support through your continuous prayers. We also appeal passionately for your generous financial support to help us be on air as the Lord will require us to do and to be. Please plan to give regularly. Please give occasionally, or you can begin to give a one-time gift. The scripture is right that you will be made rich in every way so that you can be generous on every occasion, and your generosity will result in thanksgiving to God. Please respond to this genuine, urgent appeal. Kindly be a Kirk TV partner. May God bless you abundantly as we join hands to do this good work.
To partner with us, send your financial support to pay bill number 4019613, account partner. Pay bill number 4019613, account partner.
All right, and welcome back again as we continue with our conversation this morning on the state of the nation. And as we, continue this conversation and shift focus now, the president yesterday gazetted 50 chief administrative secretaries. That is the number that has caused now a conversation in the country. And the question being, why shift from the initial number of the previous regime of 23 chief administrative secretaries to 50? That is a big question that people are trying to ask. And as we continue this discussion, let me come to you, Senator, because you're part of the government. 50 chief administrative secretaries, even as you acknowledge that we are in a tough economic situation, is it not a betrayal for the Kenyan people?
What betrayal?
By overloading the taxpayer with 50 chief administrative secretaries.
Let's be very realistic. One, the Constitution is very clear that the President has a mandate to be able to appoint his executive. And in the last regime, yes, they were able to appoint 23. And this number is not constitutionally stated. It was just by then, through the previous regime, the number was just 23, not because the Constitution said 23. This time round, the matter went to court in terms of these positions. And the President, because he's a man who respects the rule of law, he waited patiently for the outcome. And after the ruling, he executed his mandate. Now, we are following procedures. We are following the Constitution. What has happened? Yes, the number has increased. There is the question of why has the number increased from this number to this number? And that's why I keep on saying, let us engage in terms of the question. Yes, and the right answer. And the right answer is here, very simple, Chris. That one, where we are, you find that with the ministerial, the minister that we have, the ministerial positions, and where we found the government is that there is a lot that needs to be done to bring this country back, at least, to its economic strength. And so, when most of these CSs are normally out there, we need a team that is there also continuing with the process. Number two, there has been points of political rewards. Let me say that, you see, when today you will call us because we are versed with these political issues, unlike maybe somebody else out there. And the reason is that this team, this offer has been given to these teams, one, because they've been able to work with the government, so they understand what the government needs to offer. What is the strategy? What is this manifesto? How is it going to come to light to Kenya? So they've walked the journey. They've been part of it, trying to understand how to bring positivity to this. Three, Chris, the issue of these positions was not directed to individuals to apply. It was open to all Kenyans. Anybody is mandated to apply. Even you are not limited. But, it depended on who's willing to apply. And interviews were done. We need competent people to be able to serve in these offices, depending on their experiences. That because, as I've said earlier, the where we are and how we found the government is, we need actually all these strategies so that we can see how to now bring and how to add revenue with what we have, and we need these teams. So those are some of the things that has made the President to be able to actually increase this number. Yes.
And talking about the list that came out, we've all seen the list and who comprises that list. If you've seen what Kenyans are talking about 50 names coming out from a 240 final short list. And when you look at that list, the likes of the politicians like Evans Kidero, there's Benjamin Washali is an immediate member of parliament. Evans Kidero is an immediate is an immediate aspirant governor, also a former governor. And you look at that list, and Kenyans are now asking, is that the best that President picked from that administrative, from that 240 list of the administrative secretaries?
Let's be clear, Chris, it was not the president picking. There was a panel that conducted these interviews. They're the ones who normally give the report that the people who've been able to qualify. What does the president do? He has sense that now let them go to parliament for vetting, for further vetting, true or false. Number two, I'm happy because you're able to acknowledge the number was 240. This number is big. And the committee actually tried, the vetting PSC team tried to actually take the 50 out of the 240. Otherwise, even more Kenyans would have gone home. I like it on the part for Kidero, because in Kenya, in Nyanza region, we were not able to really marshal a lot of votes. That is very true, because that's a very strong hold for His Excellency Raila. And in that case, because Kenya Kwanza is a government that serves everybody from all regions of this country, and the Kidero team, the Washiala team, they came on board with the strategies and ideologies, and they put on table on how actually to improve the economy of those particular regions. And that's why I'm happy, because if they are on board, they'll be able to assist, because the issues that are in Nyanza are not the issues that are in Eastern, nor Mount Kenya, nor the coastal regions. Issues are different. And we have these teams and these minds cutting across, then we'll be able to deliver in different regions, depending on the needs of those particular regions out there. Yes.
And I love how you're justifying that particular list as well. I assure you, what do you make of, that 50 CAS list?
I guess BBI was better than even this. The BBI thing was even better. It could have put, it was a thing of one man, 1 shilling. Now, I would want to ask our senator here, how does it help the common mwananchi when the increment of this number from 23 to 50, how does it bring help to the common mwananchi? And another question is, does it mean that there was more work in the ministry that the initial number could not have been able to deliver? Then where are we getting the salary or the in such a harsh economy to add more salaries to the increased number? The increased number, it has come up. The economy is so harsh on the common mwananchi. Mshipi inaendelea kumkaza. The taxpayer is there, and now the increment has come. We have not seen new offices. The same offices are there, and does it mean that the initial number could not have been able to deliver?
Now, let me answer good questions. Now, I like it when you ask those kind of questions, not us talking about bloodshed. That is good. And let me respond by saying the question of how it's going to help Mwananchi. Very true. We have a bottom-up strategy. And with the teams now, with the new administrative officers, secretaries that are going to take office, they are going to assist, okay, in ensuring that diversely they touch on all angles of that ministerial docket, so that they are able to improve that ministry, so that that ministry is able to do developments from a bottom level, moving upwards, whereby they are able to, for a simple word that I'm trying to use is where they'll be able to come up with the strategies and ideologies that will be able to improve each and every ministry in terms of its mandate. I'll give an example, like the Ministry of Agriculture, the Ministry of Interior. We've seen what is the issues of bandits that are happening out there. Most of the time, Professor Kindiki is not even in the office. He's in the bush. I've talked to him and sometimes telling me, Senator, niko kwa msitu. And he's there. Because what I've said is that we went to the people, we dialogued. They said this and this and this. And the Kenya Kwanza strategy is going to the people. We've seen the CS of Agriculture being out of office. He's not sometimes in the country. He's there, running there, trying to do this. Sometimes you have investors who are coming aboard, who is going to receive, who's going to try and put the policies and strategies and be able to go, so that without wasting time, we are able to rush and be able to have offices that you find that the CS is not there. So some things have to stop. The PS is not there. They've been too. So with the assistance of this, there's going to be massive, because we have good resources in this country. And if we can be able to maximally tap them, then we'll be able to have maximum production of what we have. Yes, there's the question of where is the money going to come from. Very good question. We have we discussed on tax issues, because that's where we get our money from. And what is good is that the president, through these discussions and all that, has been able to understand that we have non-collection of KRA, and this issue has come to light. And according to the Constitution, it is a mandate of every Kenyan to pay tax. There is no negotiation. Everybody is supposed to pay tax. His father said that there are those businesses that where we are, things have been a bit strenuous. Let them sit with KRA, let there be a payment plan formula, so that we are able to give Kenyans opportunity to continue doing their business and to continue paying tax with a formula, so that they clear the debts that have been there. What am I trying to say in simple terms? I'm trying to say, yes, we are expanding the tax collection formula in a way that we give room for Kenyans to be able to actually remit. And when they're able to remit, they will see that one, will be able to sort our issues, including the debt issue that we have, will be able to manage this office, and things will be able to move. We've seen the previous regime whereby it actually did exempt a lot of areas on tax issue, which is very wrong and should not have been the case. And these are things that, of course, Parliament is looking at them again and things like that. So, in short, when this expansion is done, all these things are going to be sorted out. Yes.
Sure, you're in denial.
I'm in very much denial, because now, how can you tell us that it is a bottom-up strategy? The to he can be able to pay tax, so that he can be, the salary for this increment of the numbers to be paid for their salaries, so that they can be able to deliver. What is this being delivered?
See, we know without those offices,
let me ask you,
offices, tax still is being paid.
It is okay, even when they were 23, the tax was also being paid. But now when you increase the number and you don't show us what work they need to do,
I've stated.
Let me ask you, the 23 positions, they used to work in those ministries, okay? Now, which other work has just cropped in? They were not enough to do what?
To do the work that was there previously. So with the system that the president has been able to analyze per each and every ministry, we needed more numbers in each and every ministerial docket.
So we continue pressing Wanjiku, so that we can be able to increase. We are not pressing
Wanjiku. We have said and stated that we are expanding the tax collection. Expanding is by opening more business opportunities to our Kenyans out there.
Now,
then we can be able to collect. Bringing and opening is the PPP formulas, whereby we are doing public-private partnership with our investors out there. We are accommodating them so that we give Kenyan jobs, because looking at the housing project, there is going to be that, and that is what we've really insisted even during the processing of the plans and the agreements, that local Kenyans, the Juakali team, have come and signed agreements with the investor that hawa watatengeneza madirisha, hawa wataweza kutengeneza milango, hawa ndio watakuwa wenye sasa wanafanya the laborers work, na waweze kupata vijana waweze kupata kazi, and in that formula tax is going to be paid. So you see how we know where to actually
so
collect.
It's a strategy after a strategy.
Yes,
and
after
all this, where is the mama mboga in these positions? Yes. Where is the boda boda guy in these positions? Because we can see Akina Kidero, Akina Omanga, we only see those people who have been in the limelight. But initially, the government was supposed to be for the president and the mama mboga.
But you
literally, you cannot tell us that they will become the juakali. Now they are the farmers. They have to be given fertilizers to do this. But can we have a something that is open, that we have one mama mboga? Because even those mama mbogas in the streets, those boda guys in the streets, most of them are learned.
And that's what I'm saying, and we respect that very much. And they are actually learned.
But we cannot see them anywhere.
But you see, the process was very clear, my sister, whereby these applications did not state that Washiara should apply and Chris should not apply. Kidero should apply and this Joroge should not apply. It
is not adding up. Because the 240, maybe one mama mboga also
that is a we cannot make assumption.
But because
can you substantiate that this person had
it's a strategy after a strategy, but there is no delivering in this government.
But why are you going to ask the same government, Chris? Why are you going to ask the same government on Monday if you are saying it is not delivering? Why are you going to it? Why are you undermining to go to it and ask them
to deliver?
Tell us. But why are you going to it? My question,
tell us,
why are you going
what is
to
the
it?
meaning of bottom up? What is the whole of all this?
Why are you going to it if it has not delivered? Sorry. Why are you going to it if it has not delivered?
I think
why?
To substantiate the 50 chief administrative secretaries will have to go on and on and on, but I'm told time is up. We need to wind up this.
Thank you.
Before we continue, one last question. Of course, it's been the political talk. I just want a statement from each of you. Your party, the UDA party. What is the UDA strategy that is now turning out, to fold these other parties in joining the coalition to be one party?
Okay, so in matters of political parties, UDA is a national party. It's the government party. It's the president's party. The president is the party leader, the deputy, where he comes from the Rift Valley region. We have the deputy president from the Mount Kenya region. We have the SG from the Nyanza region. We have Hassan Omar, Coast region. We have my brother Vincent Kawaya from Eastern region. And different other regions. Why am I stating these regions? Because UDA is a party for the Kenyan party, the bigger, larger country. It is not a tribal party. And what has happened is that in our own analysis after politics, because I sat in the command center for His Excellency William Ruto in charge of Nairobi, and we really had challenges, and we realized that as a coalition, we had in one position MP or MCA, we have 4, 3, 5 candidates under Kenya Kwanza, but different tickets. And that one really costed us in terms of our candidates, because they divided their votes, and then you find that the opposition took, because in Nairobi we have only 4 UDA MPs, a smaller number for the MCAs. We didn't get the county women rep and the senator. We managed to get the governor. And with that is because of the division of the small parties here. Number 2, you realize we have a manifesto as a party at large. And we feel that when these leaders who are holding these positions, the party leader of this party, the party leader of this party, they are concentrating so much on the party matters, instead of concentrating with what the government wants to achieve. So the whole ideology of folding is to be able to soldier and focus on the strategy that the government has, and at the same time is bringing Kenyans and not indicating as is a regional Rift Valley, Mount Kenya thing. That is actually not the case. And lastly, it is not a force. No, because we have democracy that says multi-party, and it is there in the constitution. So it is not a force. So we've just said that is the wisdom and the advice. Kindly fold so that we can be able to achieve it. If they don't want to fold, there's nobody who's hammering them. It is in their will to say no, and we respect the no.
The no.
Yes.
Ashori,
yes.
Your last statement, in regards to that, been an accusation of the Azimio that the suppress of democracy, but in just less than 1 minute, what is your position in regards to that as we conclude? Because I'm told we are done. So I'm only giving you 1 minute.
What I think about the current government with their allied parties is that they are trying to kill the allied parties, and it has remained that now it's a Kenya Kwanza. It's a Kenya Kwanza thing. It's not that it is not listening to the UDA umbrella now. So what I think is that somehow the president is failing his allies. Yeah.
That is what you think.
Yes.
Right, I think that is where we are going to wind up this particular conversation, because I'm told time is up and I don't want to keep you long here. Senator Tabitha, thank you so much for making time this morning.
Asante.
And Wagaki Washuri, thank you so much for also making time this morning.
Thank
I think
you.
today has been a ladies' affair, you know. It's always been men. You know, sometimes men, ladies, but today I think it was a fair game, ladies' affair. And I'm glad to see you all in, you know, those political positions and, you know, trying to spearhead the agenda of the young people and also of the women of this country. Thank you so much for making time this morning. And that is where we wind up this particular conversation. Up next would be the entertainment segment. But before we conclude, there is a lot of feedback that has been coming in, though we've not had time to read all of them, because some of the things they are raising, they have been you know, answered here. There is one who says, did us the people tell you to increase the number of the CAS? That is one of the feedback. And also Wilfred Moses says, on issues of CAS, I can say the courts are compromised since last regime. Uhuru was told they are illegitimate and illegal. Now the same courts affirms the CAS position is legal. That is one of the feedback. The other one talks about the subsidy and talks about where was the subsidy money taken since there are no more subsidies. And there's another comment also talking about, I hope to see Mama Mboga on the CAS, but I have not seen one. I think that was also part of the conversation. And much feedback on regards to what we've been talking about. And one is responding to what you talked about. Now they are accepting war in Ukraine has effects, yet when they were campaigning, they said the war in Ukraine isn't a factor. That is one of the feedback. And another one says, Gachagua said no to dialogue. I think so much feedback which has been coming in. And there's one who says, Kago says, I'm following and proud of Super Senator Tabitha Mutinda. Proud of you. And Wilfred Moses says that I am watching Mwarewa Washuri.
Wow.
Good to see you. And those are some of your followers, of course, tuning in and trying to send in feedback. So I think they are trying to base their feedback on what you are contributing as also what they think of the country. And that is much what we've been talking about. So next week on Friday, same conversation, different aspect. Of course, that will be after the Monday protest. We'll wait to see what comes out of it. Whether it will be peaceful or not, it's a matter of wait and see. So we wind up this particular conversation, but don't go far away. When the show returns, we'll be coming back with the entertainment segment. Thank you so much, ladies, for making time this morning for us to have this conversation. And I'm hoping that we're going to have this conversation back again and we'll be regular visitors.
Thank you so much.
Right. Right. So we take a short break and then we'll be right back in a short while. Don't go far away.
Do the best we can with the leadership of UDA party so that we can build and make a difference to the lives of Kenyans. We are here, and as you can see the leaders who are here, this is the leadership of Luo Nyanza. Anybody who's not here is not a leader. Yes.
Our people have moved ahead of us. They will start to say that those are people who have been given jobs, they have been rejected by the voters. But I can tell you today in Nyanza, our people have moved ahead of us. We are chasing them. And we want to chase them so that we offer leadership. We are here to offer leadership to our people so that they do not go ahead of us without a leader.
Greetings to all of you who watch Kirk TV programs. I said you Christian love and peace from all the Kirk family and the entire ministry. Since God gave us this Kirk TV, which is a very competent means of reaching people in and outside Kenya, Kirk TV is undoubtedly giving good and effective services to many people wherever our signal reaches. It is evident that God is at work through Kirk TV. We therefore need your loving support through your continuous prayers. We also appeal passionately for your generous financial support to help us be on air as the Lord will require us to do and to be. Please plan to give regularly. Please give occasionally, or you can begin to give a one-time gift. The scripture is right that you will be made rich in every way so that you can be generous on every occasion, and your generosity will result in thanksgiving to God. Please respond to this genuine, urgent appeal. Kindly be a Kirk TV partner. May God bless you abundantly as we join hands to do this good work.
To partner with us, send your financial support to pay bill number 4019613, account partner. Pay bill number 4019613, account partner.
Doesn't matter how much you feel abandoned, rejected and lonely, and like no one cares, Jesus cares. He is our shepherd. The Bible says in the book of 1 Peter chapter 5 that Jesus
niko chini kwani kwa manio nyamanza nipe
wakaone viwete watembee, wajue baba unatenda.
wakaone viwete wajue baba unatenda. Nina majanga najua utaniko tanikiko najua unanipenda si baba unanipenda.
Family Kenya kwenye studio.
Asante sana.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Pembeni hiyo ngoma zake kwanza.
Thank you.
Tuanze kwanza nyinyi wa jina lako and then mlipatana na mkaanza muziki aje pamoja.
Yeah. Good morning familia ya Kirk TV na bwana Sifa. Mimi naitwa Isaac.
Yeah, naitwa
Yeah,
Rise the Sun.
Interesting. Sasa wawili kitu tofauti na talent zenu pia za muziki. Lakini mlipatanaje pamoja mkama pamoja? Ndio lazima kuna story kwa behind ya kupatana.
Ni story ya kuambia. Mwanzo nilikuwa nauza maji pale Kaya. Aswa nilikuwa tu nimetulia. Afu akakuja sijui picha. Then kidogo ni kama jambo fulani nilizwa na niambia na kwa swala. Kwa hiyo break ika break is kuanzia za kumazungumzo. Hata kwamba kumbe fanya muziki. Na mimi pia na muziki. So mbona vipi tunaweza kuungana kufanya kazi. Na hivyo ndivyo ambavyo tunga hili kundi. Na neema ya Mungu.
Unasema kwamba ulikuja kumpata Nairobi, unatokea wapi?
Mimi nimetokea
ukaja Nairobi sasa ndo ukapata naye mkaanza muziki.
Tukaendeleza sababu kwanza na mimi nimeanza pia na nyimbo kadhaa. Kwa hiyo tukaanza kazi ambazo
na kwanza kabla nikuulize swali langu, producer anauliza kwamba Kiswahili chako kidogo kinafanana na Tanzania huko
Tanzania sipajui na pasikia tu.
Ndio Kiswahili.
Nimesema miaka yangu vizuri.
Fresh. Tuseme wakati mmepatana nyinyi wawili sasa. Muziki ya ngoma ya kwanza ushirikiano wenu, yani ikakuwa vipi?
Ilikuwa ngumu. Juu yeye alikuwa dunia, so unajua. Kwa hizo vitu. Na mimi nilikuwa kwa gospel
kuchoma.
So yeye alikuwa mimi nilikuwa bro, sasa itatubidi tufanye kesa. Alikuwa ameokoka. Unajua unaokoka lakini unakanyanga hivi vile. Unaona uko hivi. So tukaenda studio, tukakaa chini, anza maneno. Song ya kwanza kabisa kutoa ilikuwa papa. So tulikuwa tunapa barua. Mwambie we are ready to do this, tupatie hiyo grade kila kitu. Song kabisa studio tunaanza na my papa. Iko tu. Tembea kwa hivi. Hata tu angalia.
Kwanza lazima
unajua
akiza kwanza waga hizi.
Lakini kutoka hapo kwa kufanya moja.
Tuko na karibu muziki 20
safari ya kufanya kazi. Unajua kuna andika hivi, huyu anataka hivi. Yaani safari yenu ya kuandika muziki pamoja na kwanza kufanya kazi pamoja, zote zimefanya 20 songs. Kufanya kazi pamoja imekuwaje nyinyi wawili?
Okay. Kwanza Biblia inatuambia very clearly, two cannot walk together and they agree. And this aspect of agreeing inakuwa na challenge fulani, sababu unapata binadamu naturally we are limited, na unapata kwamba tuna flaws not be explained by human knowledge. that must have been God who caused them to bless. So hata wakati tulikuwa at that brokenness, hiyo level ya kuvunjika, like ili come to nikasema, if we are to rise again, then it is God. Jina ni moja.
Cheza jina moja, tusikie namna gani.
Oh na na na, is another one, international. Sing, jina ni moja na jina ni we, moja na jina ni we, jina ni moja na jina ni we, so ni wewe peke yako uinuliwe. Jina ni moja na jina ni we, moja na jina ni we, jina ni moja na jina ni we, so ni wewe peke yako uinuliwe. Sitochonga sana au kuabudu miungu mingine, ati sababu ninayo hamu ya kupata pesa na vitu vingine, maana vya dunia vinakwisha ila jina lako linabaki milele. Ai, vya dunia vinakwisha ila jina lako linabaki milele. Ai, ongoza nifuate, so missing, ongoza nifuate, ongoza nifuate, utachosema Mola nifanye. Ai, ongoza nifuate, so missing, ongoza nifuate, ongoza nifuate, utachosema Mola nifanye. Jina ni moja na jina ni we, moja na jina ni we, jina ni moja na jina ni we, so ni wewe peke yako uinuliwe. Jina ni moja na jina ni we, moja na jina ni we, jina ni moja na jina ni we, so ni wewe peke yako uinuliwe.
Hey, mbingu na nchi uliumba ukumbwa, zaidi yote ukanipa maarifa. Minani nibishane nawe, sifa zako sikuzimi na kupa zote. Kiherehere mina wacha, nafuata Jesus yendo minataka. Yo,
najijua mini nani, si man fear me, I'm the son of the most high. Jina ni moja na jina ni we, moja na jina ni we, jina ni moja na jina ni we, so ni wewe peke yako uinuliwe. Jina ni moja na jina ni we, moja na jina ni we, jina ni moja na jina ni we, so ni wewe peke yako uinuliwe. Ulizilipa deni mbaya nasema, upo na milishajua mapema. Umenijaza niko fiti sitakosa, wokovu wangu mimi wako Mola. Nachokitaka naitisha bora, naelewa siwezi kosa. Ukiahidi God unatimiza, ai unatimiza yoyo.
Kiherehere mina wacha, nafuata Jesus yendo minataka. Yo,
najijua mini nani, si man fear me, I'm the son of the most high. Jina ni moja na jina ni we, moja na jina ni we, jina ni moja na jina ni we, so ni wewe peke yako uinuliwe. Jina ni moja na jina ni we.
Yeah.
Jina moja.
Jina ni moja.
Kwanza beats, nimesikiza beats za ngoma zako, beats kali sana. Nani na produce muziki? Ama mnafanya muziki wenu wapi?
Kwa sasa tuko kwa Sean on the beat. Though tulikuwa Royal, tulikuwa kwa producer fulani anaitwa Rabizo. So tunaendanga tukipanda tu, so sasa tuko kwa Sean on the beat. Tunafanya na yeye.
So kulingana na venye kazi zenu zinabadilika pia mnabadilisha production.
Lazima tuende na trend.
Lazima mpande na mimi. Songe mbele, projects gani ambazo tunatarajia kutoka kwenu? Unajua kufanya kazi pamoja kwanza si rahisi. So lazima pia kuwe na projects pia mmepanga mbele. Watu wanatarajia, what is your next project and what do we expect from the gospel family Kenya?
Yani hapa ni kazi tu. Project nyingi hamwezi kumaliza. Tumekuja na this time round we just want to do it back to back, yani to the glory of the name of the Lord. Yeah, unaangalia this moment is when we are needed the most to manifest the real thing. Yeah, the real thing is needed. Unajua like saizi people have exchanged gold for brass. We are being given brass instead of gold, but the instruction that God gave the Israelites concerning the temple was gold. So you must get real gold. And that is why we are here. Tumerudi tena.
Unazungumza kama mhubiri, unafanya kana na muziki pia unafanya
mhubiri wewe.
Mhubiri.
Okay, ni neema.
Unajua watu wanasema kwamba ukipewa neema na kipawa na Mungu, lazima wengine watakiona.
Kweli kabisa. Ni neema ambayo nimepata, nimepandishwa na it is just a privilege to serve. Venye umesema ni kweli, mimi ni mtumishi, nafanya uhubiri pia. Yeah.
Unaona Mungu akikutoa upako. Pia watu wanaona kabla hata kusema. Tuongelee kwamba nyinyi kama wasanii, yani kama pamoja, na kila mtu ana idea zake tofauti. Nyinyi kama wawili hivi, sitaki kuongelea wengine. Nyinyi kama wawili hivi, changamoto gani kubwa yenye ambayo nyinyi mna experience wakati mnafanya kazi pamoja? Kazi lazima kuna changamoto ambayo inawashika, yani the challenge that is faces you every time yenye mnafanya kazi.
Challenges ni mingi. Kwanza kama mko familia, kwanza kama mko group, unaweza kuta moja at times, unajua sisi we are our own bosses, our own management, we manage ourselves, we market ourselves. So unakuta at times anaweza kuwa kuna unajua kitu kwa mfuko. Na unakuta hata mimi sina. So unaweza na mmoja, mbona ni mimi nafinyika. So this is an advice I'm giving even to the other people when you work in group, that si lazima mwenzako akue nayo na wewe ukue nayo ndio muipush. At times wewe naongea na ule mwenye kwa group wenye wako pale nje, pengine ni vizuri tukijiongelea challenges zetu, pia wao wachukua sema kama wamekaa 9 years hata sisi tunaweza. So ningesema hivi, wewe mwenye uko pale nje na mko na group, si lazima tuongojee mwenzako akue nayo na wewe ndio ukue nayo, mtoe pamoja. If unaona hii imeenda kuanguka na uko nayo, wewe toa muinue. So that has been the challenges to us, and we are fighting it each and every day through the grace of God. It's the biggest challenge, and I just it's not only to us, because kuna groups zingine wananiambianga, bro, hii mnafanya aje? Naambia bro, inabidi you sacrifice for what you have been called for. If this thing is for you, you have to sacrifice, you have to go an extra mile. Yeah, so you're among the challenges. Hivyo kuna challenge nyingine umeficha huko ndani.
Kuna challenge nyingine maybe wewe kwa upande wako pia unaiona pia, na pia unaweza saidia watu wengine pia kwa group. Unajua ukishare challenge yenu na solution yenye mnampata, pia wengine wanasaidika. Sijui kama pia uko na challenge yenye pia nyinyi mnapitia.
Yeah, challenge kama ambavyo wamesema ni swala zima la hela sometimes. Unapata maybe wakati unatoa una feel mbona anatoa na huyu ni kama he's not doing anything. Yeah, but sasa at that point pia ni inabidi kunakuwa na uelewa fulani. Kunakuwa na uelewa fulani. Na what keeps me doing that bila ku feel any ish ni wakati na understand the reason for a blessing. A blessing is not for you. A blessing is for the nations. So the more you invest in something that is to impact nations, that is the reason why God should bless you more. Because God is looking for trust. He's not people to entrust themselves. So if he can entrust you with something and he knows that when he gives you this, it does not end with you, then he's going to entrust you with more. And that is what has kept us just pushing. We don't feel any pressure to put money anywhere. We just put it in because it is of God.
Naambiwa kwamba ipo project mpya.
Mpya kabisa.
Moja safi.
Bichi kabisa.
Nakwambia.
Hata the first time tuna launch hapa.
The first time.
The first TV station.
Fresh.
And you're the first person to host us.
Mashallah. Tuambie kuhusu hiyo ngoma mpya. Najua kwa wale ambao hawajaiona, na of course najua wataiona mara ya kwanza hapa. Yaani mara ya kwanza kabisa, ngoma mbichi kabisa. Tuambie ni kuhusu ngoma mpya.
Jezebel. Tunampata katika kitabu cha Wafalme wa kwanza. Ni mke wa Ahabu. Na ukiangalia Jezebel alikuwa ni mtu ambaye alileta ibada ya miungu katika Israeli. Na ukiangalia nature hiyo ibada ilikuwa associated with so many bad things. So according to the revelation I got from that is that Jezebel is a force that sponsors wickedness. So tukiimba against Jezebel, we are singing against every form of wickedness. And we know in our nation saizi kuna vitu ambavyo vinajaribu kusukumwa ndani. And we know that we have been a very good country, a country that we fear God and all that, but now there are things that are being pushed inside just to try and corrupt our nation. So we are singing against that. We have to wake up. You see, the church has to stand on its feet and defend every form of wickedness, because no one else is going to do this. The Bible is clear that the creations are groaning for the manifestation of the sons of God. So if we are the sons of God and we don't reflect the godliness in us, then we have failed. So we want to sing against the Jezebel spirit. Itoke, hatuitaki.
Jezebel ngoma amezungumzia project nzima kuhusu nini inahusu nini. Yani what has been the best thing working on this particular project?
We had the best producer. We recorded in the best time and its timing is the best. So wakati wameleta hizo vitu, some funny stuff, ati unapatiwa sijui bilioni fulani, you emphasize for this thing to go through. So that's yani everything about this song, it's timing. That's the best thing about this song, about this project, about this word. That's why I feel proud about it. And I thank Vinny and everyone Kirk TV for inviting us to share it out to the rest of the nation. Yeah.
Kabla tumalize na hiyo ngoma mpya kabisa. Watu wanaweza pata muziki wenu wapi, social media zenu, as a group, maybe pia kama individual, so mbio tupigie ngoma tukimaliza. Where can people get you on social media?
Yeah, at social media tuko kila mahali. Ukisearch to The Gospel Family Kenya, TikTok tuko pale, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram, everywhere at WhatsApp at The Gospel Family Kenya. Ukienda tu Facebook itakupeleka pale kwa WhatsApp yetu, tumeka link pale. So at The Gospel Family Kenya tuko pale ndani. Yeah.
Right. Samis, maneno yako ya mwisho?
Pia wacha ni hizo account za social media. Kwenye Facebook ni Rhymes, K-Rhymes Muziki, Instagram K-Rhymes Muziki, TikTok ni Rhymes the Psalmist. Alafu kwenye wanapenda neno, nina program kwenye YouTube inaitwa Babu Tales. Unaipata kwenye channel inaitwa Rhymes the Psalmist. Ukienda pale unabarikiwa na maisha yako yatabakia kama yalivyo.
Haya, tukimaliza sasa tuchape Jezebel.
Yeah.
Jezebel ipo standby. Tufunge kazi twende nyumbani ama twende
kunywa chai.
All right. Now that's where we end up this session of the Entertainment Friday. Of course, it's been a great show talking matters to do the state of the nation. Sahi muziki kidogo and then we are done. Next week on Friday, same place, different guests but the same show. My name is Chris Sambo. See you next week on Friday. But tunamaliza na Jezebel kutoka kwa The Gospel Family Kenya. Twende kazi.
It's a Gospel Family. Hey, oh, Sean. Running. Jezebel, you never wanna get to me. Niko na Christ. Alishani, penda me, you better know. Niko kwa kambi sitoki. Niko na chesha wako watoshi. Vibasa dunia nishafagia. Ini ukweli mimi nakwambia. Mimi msafiri niko kwa njia. Yesu akirudi mbinguni tunaingia. Niko naye sitangangana. Niko naye hakika msitutaona. From zako misitaki, unataka nianguke sitaki. Nirudi nyuma sitaki, Jezebel rudi nyuma sitaki. From zako misitaki, unataka nianguke sitaki. Nirudi nyuma sitaki, Jezebel rudi nyuma sitaki. Yesu ashanipenda, amenijaza mimi na yeye tunafanana. Chochote anapenda, ndio nitatenda, neno lake nitatangaza. Mimi niko sawa, amenipa dawa, niro nimejazwa, masijapagawa, niko na power, naenda sawa na mapenzi ya Baba. Na watoka malaba wa zamani, zile tabia za zamani. Yesu tu ndo mimi natamani, yendo wangu ni mwandani, msalabani alifagia sote za matabia, akasema yamekwisha. Sami nafurahia, shetani ulishinda vita, nipishe nataka kupita, misi wako hata ukinita sitaitika. Zako misitaki, unataka niangu